I basically lost my boyfriend to manosphere content. And that was the beginning of the end. I didn't know it though. One day I came home. I was in my vanity room. Okay, I have a room just for myself with my clothes and my makeup. In that room, I have a TV. One day, my ex, he comes in my room where I'm decompressing, mind you. And he goes on my TV and he says, "Baby, I want you to watch this creator with me." Okay. And I said, "Oh, okay," because at this point, me and him had been together for about a good 3 years. So I feel like when he was suggesting content to me, it's because he thought that I also might enjoy it. So I said, "Oh, okay, what type of content does he make?" And he says, "Well, he comes on his platform and he invites women on there and he basically argues with them." And I shit y'all not, the first question that came out of my mouth after he said that was, "Is he gay?" Because in my mind, I don't know an actual real man who goes out about his way to argue with a woman just to tell her about herself. Because in my reality, okay, that don't happen, right? I didn't grow up with men who were around me that did that type of shit. And the ones that did do that type of shit, they were gay. So that's why I asked that question. He starts to laugh and he's like, "Nah, he's not gay. It's just that he likes to debate. He likes to go back and forth with the women and tell them how they're wrong." And I was like, okay, just go ahead and put it on. This motherfucker put on Kevin Samuels. Mind you, I did not know who the hell he was at that point. And most people didn't know who he was at that point because he didn't blow up yet. He puts him on. And mind you, I'm just listening because I'm not watching. I'm taking off my makeup and shit. I'm hearing the content. I'm just like, I look at my ex at one point. I'm just like, "Can you take him off my TV, please?" So my ex just starts to laugh and he's like, "Oh, well, you don't like him?" I'm like, "Hell no, I don't like him." And then
You know why she ain't like him? Because she was triggered because he probably was saying some stuff that hit close to home. But all she knows is that she is triggered. And Kevin didn't make you lose anything. Kevin probably opened him up to some reality. And listening to how you sound, I can see why he left. Carry on.
start to like question him, like, why the would I like him? So fast forward, me and my ex get into an argument. So we get into this fight, and basically he asked me why I wouldn't do something, like, or why I wasn't like taking him serious or paying attention to him about some shit he was trying to say. I can't really remember, but I told him I cannot take you seriously because you don't pay any of my fucking bills. That's why I'm not taking shit that you're saying seriously. This motherfucker gonna say, "This is why women end up alone." I said, "What women do you know that are ending up alone?" He was like, "That
Baby, 1 in 4 women, especially black and brown women, get married. What do you mean, what women do you know? I'm pretty sure she knows a lot of them, including herself. Why you playing? That don't even make sense.
That's the shit that I see when I'm watching those videos." Because he started to watch just not only Kevin, but he was watching, you know, other influencers who had the same type of content. So I told him, this is where I had to break it down for him a little bit. I had to hurt his feelings. I didn't really want to do it, but I'm just like, you getting out of fucking hand. Like, you really getting out of line. I was like, I don't know why someone like you is watching content from people like them. You, first of all, don't have the same money as them. You don't have the same lifestyle as them. You don't have the resources they have, and you don't have the platform they have. So why the fuck is someone like you being influenced by someone like that? You, a grown ass man, almost into his 30s, because at this point he was like 29, 28 or something like that. Almost into his 30s, you're listening to another grown man. You don't have your own ideology set. You don't have your own morals and values to follow. You're letting somebody else that don't even fucking know that you exist influence you.
Look at her with the shame, guilt, and insults. Super common. This is sad because she has no idea that she's the problem.
And you're a grown-ass man. You try to say you're a grown-ass man. That's fucking crazy. I didn't understand that. I really didn't. Because, yeah, social media is fun, but I cannot say I've ever been influenced by a fuck creator on here. Because, bitch, if you're trying to sell me some shit and I don't want it, I'm gonna keep fuck scrolling. If it sounds like some shit that don't sound right, I'm gonna let you know it don't sound right. But it's hardly ever I get influenced by somebody on here. And this grown-ass man wants me to take him serious. The one that's getting influenced by somebody. The one that don't pay bills. You want me to take you serious? What the fuck? I said you need to stop listening to the motherfuckers. Because they got you hooked up. And
you know what's crazy? She has no idea that she is the main problem. Her mouth, the way that she emasculates this man that she supposedly had a relationship with, that she talks to him as if she's his mother. I mean, just the filth that comes out of your mouth. And you wonder why. I could see him taking a liking to Kevin Samuels. A lot of men took a liking to Kevin Samuels because of this. This is what a lot of men have to go through right here. All this mouth, all this cussing, all this debating. And Kevin didn't like to argue with anybody. Women called into a show. They started talking crazy. He asked them what they wanted and told them what they had to do to get it. He was actually for women if you would have took a look at it instead of putting pounds of makeup on your face or feeding your face or whatever you've been doing. The nerve of you to emasculate your so-called man. And I don't know how anybody can stay with somebody like this.
Now you got me fed up. He just shut the fuck up. He didn't say nothing else. He didn't say shit after that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk to you when I get home. And I hung up, and that was the end of that conversation. I should have known that that was gonna be a problem. Okay. Now, another thing too, if you have a boyfriend that has, and this is not all of them. This is not all of them. This was just the one that I had. And there are many others that are like him. Okay. So please don't get this confused. Do not run with this shit. Okay. Sometimes men, where they have an absence of a father in their life, if he sees a man talking about things that other men respond well to, then he will also try to adopt their ideas, adopt that behavior, because they think that a man is teaching them something that they don't know because they didn't have one growing up. So now they're looking for that. The thing is this though, if you're gonna listen to them type of people, you got to make sure everything else in your life matches up with them too. Okay, not just your mentality about women. You got to make sure your finances match up. You got to make sure your looks match up. You got to make sure all the decisions that you make in your life got to match up with theirs too. See, it's more than just having, an influenced mind, right? If you really feel like how that person feels and you want your life to reflect that, you want to move how they move, you got to have your whole life looking just like how theirs look.
Are you telling me that a man cannot take advice from another man if his life is not always together? Wouldn't that mean that he needs advice? He needs the advice. That don't even make sense. And this is where we are, people. We got women who put cameras on, start talking into their phone, and start just blurting out nonsense. Kevin was one of the first ones to talk about women's weight as far as where it got to reach. Other creators talked about it, but he was one of the ones that really talked about women's attitudes. And look, you're proving and you're showing everything that he said that y'all do. So which part of that is a lie? You doing everything that so-called a lot of women do. And look what you're doing. I don't see nothing feminine about this woman. You're argumentative. You want to debate everything. You calling your man a so-called man. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't lace up sooner. And you're right. He probably does need some type of father figure. Because if he really had one, he probably wouldn't be bothered with you. And it's clearly obvious that you probably didn't have a father figure. If you did, you probably wouldn't be on here talking like a loose Mustang. You just all over the place. You seem like you don't like men. Because why are you so angry about somebody's opinion? Kevin Samuels was an image consultant. He talked about your image. He talked about how women need to move. He talked about how men need to move. He didn't just dedicate it just to women. And that's where I think people don't understand. Like, he was for women. He tried to help. A lot of women switched up their nasty attitudes from even listening to his dialogue because it wasn't talked about. Women are not honest with women. They're not. Women tell other women what they want to hear, and this is why you get these kind of women on here talking about what they don't like and what you shouldn't say. Men are tired of being quiet. They are. They over it. They're not going to be quiet anymore, so y'all might as well hang it up. They're going to tell you what they don't like. A lot of men aren't even dating right now because they don't want to be subjected to listen to a woman who talks like this. Like, she's talking as if she is the leader of the relationship. And that's not how it works. Men, get yourself together. Because as you see in this video, this woman is talking about what her man don't have, what he does have, and what kind of person he isn't, because she doesn't respect him. And a woman talk like this to you, lace up and get up out of there. And there's nothing a man can do that's gonna make this woman is not gonna respect anybody. She sounds like, to me, she don't like men, if you want my opinion. I mean, she could have told the same story without being so vulgar and disrespectful. But she chose to do it like this. And this is what you're getting right here. And this is really probably how she acts. She has no discipline at all. You can look at her and tell that she's out of bounds. And she probably stays out of bounds all the time. This woman clearly does not respect any type of male authority at all. And if most women, if they don't respect their man in a relationship, this is what you're going to get. You can't change her. This is who she is. And this is sad. I pray she doesn't have kids. Because if she has a boy, she has a son. Oh, baby. She letting him have it. If she has a girl, she going to raise her on just hurt, pain, and fear. Ladies, like I always say, we need the men. Without the men, we don't have nothing. I don't know why can't we recognize that? Like, we are better. We're better together. I'm sorry. We are. And men, when you run across this your lesson right here. Don't ever stay with a woman like this to talk to you like this. How a woman moves in real life is who she is. What you see is what you get.